YouTube vinyl community, Ben Lee fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens. We're here today for a review of the brand new Ben Lee album. This one's for the old heads. For 30 years now, Ben Lee has been releasing music that jumps into pop or psychedelic or straight up rock and roll. And each album is a separate release from its predecessor. There's an attention to detail on each album that truly sets it apart from the record that came before it. And Ben is absolutely a student of the song. He's studied pop music, he studied rock and roll. He understands what makes things click, he understands how to write a good hook. More importantly, he's about feel. With this new album, Ben looks around, looks back, and gleefully looks forward. It's a consistently rewarding listen, and you'll find yourself in all of these personal lyrics, which for me has always been the mark of a great songwriter. If someone writes something that's deeply personal and you can find yourself in those songs, the songwriter has done a great job of conveying the human condition. The album opens up with the track The Way We Were, which in title feels very McCartney-esque to me, off his Flaming Pie album, the song we were singing. You know, it's a truly deep look at changing and whether or not you actually change or more so adapt to situations, and sort of store your knowledge of how to your Batman belt of things to use when things come up. As you grow up, there's always some part of you that remains the same that was the person you were in high school or in your 20s or in your 30s, or however old you are when you look back and look at how you've been and how you adapted. But this song in particular looks back with such a heartfelt smile. There's so much love in this looking back, and because it's looking back with so much love, it's not hard on itself. And I think that's a sign of maturity, whatever that is when you can look back on yourself and know that you've made mistakes, know that you've done great things, probably some stupid things, and you can look back on it with a little bit of humility and realize, like, yeah, that's the way we were, but, we'll look back 30 years from now, and this is the way we were now, being then. Heavy metal takes us back to high school, and it's about getting into the ridiculous hijinks and pushing youth to its limits, and all the stupid things you do when you're young, and the things you think you can get away with, the things you do in private you think no one knows about. And maybe sometimes that's true, but all the while you are just soundtracked by the music that you were just insanely hungry for, whatever that might be. And that spirit, that energy, that empowerment that fills you during that time, it makes you into Superman. Like, you just get these superpowers. You think you could do anything. And looking back as an older person, you're like, man, we were dumb. In this case, it's about the power of heavy metal. A genre that defines itself by loud, fast guitars and the crazy hedonistic ways of the people who made it. It's particularly in the 1980s and probably a little bit of the early 90s, but definitely it's more of an 80s thing. And you'd see those videos and the pictures of all the rock and rollers, well, the girls, and when you were an impressionable young kid trying to figure out what you want to do when you grow up, you look at these people and think, that might be kind of cool. And you get that spirit, you get that energy, and it just propulses you throughout your formative years. Heavy metal, man. Positive Energy comes up next, and this is one of the most beautiful songs I've heard in a long time, and an album highlight for sure for me. I love the gentle acoustic guitar in the beginning that plays along so sweetly to Ben's gentle voice, and the build-up to that wonderful chorus that, it's accepting life's hardships, but it's always wanting to be that cheerful spark. It's for yourself and for others, and it's just a heartfelt declaration to life's challenges and giving yourself space to be sad, understanding why you're sad, and doing your best to stay upbeat. It's truly about understanding the world, letting yourself get down sometimes, but not letting it defeat you, because you know how great things can be, and wanting to be that greatness for those that you love and for those that love you. And, when you're a really selfless person, when you care about the people around you, and, you always want to be the people pleaser, or, you just want to be the one in the group that has like, come on guys, we can do it spirit, that's infectious, and that can get you through some really hard times. So, there's moments in the song where it says, take a hit of my positive energy. It's like, yeah, come on, just keep up. Like, we can make things better. And it's one of my favorite tracks on the record. It just sounds like a heart. It just sounds like a warm soul, like a blanket of a song. I love this one. Less Control follows that one up next. And I think, maybe I'm reading way too deep into this song, but as a society, I think we put too much pressure on perfection and unattainable perfection, I should say. And we disappoint ourselves when we don't reach those goals or achieve that status. And I think letting yourself go a little bit, giving yourself less control of a situation is beneficial to your health. I think, you know, you can understand yourself better by not putting such crazy goals on ourselves. And we live in such a goal oriented world these days with numbers dictating how we judge ourselves and how we appreciate what we make. And I think if you sort of just push some of that structure away that we've invented unfairly for ourselves, you can have a much more honest and open and enjoyable life. But I love some of the words on this. You know, I love the old heads because they still got soul, but when they get stuck in the past, it leaves me cold. What a great line. I love the charged up bridge in this one. The chorus is an instant sing along. Great track. So damn hard to be so damn good. It's a cheerful little bop. It's for me, it's a little tongue in cheek, probably more honest than we realize, but you know, it's about not taking yourself super seriously and having a bit of a laugh. It's a simple little song that adds a perfect amount of lighthearted optimism on the front half of the record. It's super catchy, it's a little funny, it's a little quirky. I dig this one. Bad Luck is a rocking anthem dedicated to sticking to it and looking back and seeing how far you come and just how incredible your hard work really is. You know, I don't think we give ourselves enough grace to look back sometimes and be like, wow, damn, like I did that, or like, wow, I've worked at this job for a couple of years, or wow, our relationship has been great for a long time. Like, you know, it's one of those things where you look back and realize maybe it wasn't so bad, and maybe the bad luck that I thought that I had is dissipating. Maybe it's really going away. And that chorus is a fist pumping rocker roller of positive energy, pun intended. Uh, I dig this song a lot. The guitars are great. The solo was cool. It's just a rock and roll song. Don't Stop Lovin' Too Much. This was a song for me when I first heard the record I wasn't really feeling. And then when I wasn't listening to the CD or, you know, the album or Spotify, whatever I'm playing, that was the one that kept going in my head. And I was like, all right, there's something about this song that's actual magic. And the more I dug into it, it's just a well-constructed pop song that scratches all the itches. There's beautiful harmony vocals. There's a big sing-along chorus. There's feel-good chords. It just continues to worm its way into my ears, and I love it. And the message is great. Don't stop loving too much. Like, keep loving. Like, how beautiful of an emotion and a sentiment is that? The song builds up where it needs to and injects some bite where it needs to, but most importantly for me, the song just feels needed. It's such a wonderful message. Friends with Freaks comes up next, and this is just a heartwarming ode to the power of friendship and allowing yourself to be goofy and weird with the people you love and the people who love you. We also have more in common with each other than we realize, and you know, we all have our interests and we all have our things that make us personable, the things that we think are weird about ourselves or actually just, you know, cool characteristics of each other that we look forward to enjoying when we talk to the people we love and want to hang out with our friends. We look forward to those weird quirks that people have. You know, that's why you're friends with people. You know, Hiatus Coyote said it best, you don't make friends, you recognize. Lovers is a beautiful, gentle song that breaks down a lineage of how either a couple got together or friends got together or how a fan base found Ben or however you want to interpret this song. You know, we go through people as we go through life and you go through relationships and you know, there's a lot of ups and downs and it's kind of amazing who you give your heart to and how you let your heart get taken and how you feel along the journey of each individual situation. And ultimately you find yourself to other people and to other lives. And it's kind of an incredible thing to give your heart to people, whether it's a friend, a romantic situation, you know, whatever it might be. It's kind of incredible how we wind up meeting people and establishing something else. You know, it's truly kind of far out. The last track in the album, Gimme Honey. When life gets too hard, remember that love is there and love will ground you and love will surround you and build you back up again. And it'll make you realize, oh yeah, you know, things aren't as bad as they could be, or I can get through this. You know, it's a very powerful, moving experience to be loved. And, you know, this song really drives home that impactful power of relationships. Again, whether friend or intimate relationship, however you want to call it, romantic relationship. And it just keeps us in reality. You know, it's one of those things you look forward to coming home from a long day at work to be with the one you love, or you go out with people that you care about. And it's like, you know, it's a very grounding situation to find that sense of home from other people. And, you know, it gives you that sense of, oh yeah, I remember when we were young, like that's what love feels like. Love is always like it makes you feel young kind of feeling. So this track is wonderful. I love that it just organically builds up throughout the track. It gets kind of rocking and spacey, and I love the crispy fire burning at the end. It's an incredible ending to a wonderful album. This one's for the old heads. I see this title as kind of a loaded statement. You know, is it meant towards the fans who have been around for this whole time and have stuck it out for 30 years with Ben? Is it for Ben looking at his circle of friends and the people that are in his age range that are kind of like, you know, you get to a certain point in your life where you're like, all right, I'm definitely a generation or two removed from, you know, what's happening to people in their early 20s? Or is it just about, you know, looking backwards and saying, you know, there's been enough time in one's life to have crystal clear memories of like 25 years ago? Or maybe it's just a perfect line from the last song that looks good on the front of an album cover on a t-shirt. This LP looks back with a smile, it looks around with wide eyes, and it's writing love letters to the future. It's about smiling at your detractors, it's about embracing those who champion you, and putting a foot in the pool of nostalgia, but not jumping in head first. It's the perfect combination of soul-searching love songs and looking back to look forward. It's rockin', it's quiet, it's beautiful, it's funny, and the track sequencing could not have been more wisely chosen. It's absolutely perfect. The ride that you go on to get to the end, perfect. I had no idea this album came out last year, so it completely fell out of my radar, but if I had known, this would have been easily my top 10 of 2024, and so it'll be my top 10 of 2025. Screw it. I think, you know, I discovered it this year, so for me it's a new album. I absolutely love the heart, the soul, the messages, the optimism, and just the feel-good attitude of being in a place in your life where you can kind of feel like a bit of a victory lap, even though you're still super young. It's nice to be able to accept those moments and those feelings and not feel like they're out of place to where you are at one point in your life. So easily for me an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's one of the best records I've heard in a long time. I absolutely love this thing, and I hope you guys pick it up and dig into it. There's the back cover with Ben looking tough. Yeah, give it a listen if you haven't checked it out yet. I highly recommend it. It's just a great listen. So there you go. My name is Giggens. This has been Ben Lee's This One's for the Old Heads. Out now through Weirder Together. Go pick it up and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.